what we see is that with the pandemic and when we do have surges internationally and locally, what we see is there's disruption to the supply chain, and that will have second round effects on prices. As we all know what the local manufacturers, importers are experiencing: delayed shipping, higher shipping costs, and this is due to COVID-19. So if we do see further waves and we are seeing it in the US now as we speak, and we're seeing it in other countries, we've seen it in Trinidad in terms of new surges in the virus, we could see further knock-on effects, inflationary increases in prices internationally, which has a pass-through effect locally. And this is where the Bank of Jamaica is doing their best, as they say, to manage second-order effects in terms of drying up demand as much as possible, in terms of increasing interest rates to reduce demand for FX, to reduce demand for domestic demand in the economy, to raise so that market interest rates, the rate at which consumers borrow and business borrow, will increase and slow domestic demand. So while we're driving for growth in our economy, right, in order to contain inflation, what we're seeing is the Bank of Jamaica moving to reduce domestic demand, and this will have a tempering effect on growth, right? And so we're in almost a conundrum here. While we want to see our economy on a steady and our economy performing at optimal levels, we have inflation, which is a global phenomenon right now as we speak, which is impacting us locally, and the Bank of Jamaica has to act with their mandate of containing inflation within the range of 4 to 6%. So they have to tighten monetary policy, they have to increase interest rates if inflation does not abate. So it's a complex, because it impacts the fiscal, it impacts the growth levels, right? And it impacts the domestic demand in the economy, right? So it's going, as I said, it's going to be we're going to have to manage this very carefully. The government of Jamaica and the Bank of Jamaica has to manage this very carefully going into the new fiscal year. And as we're going through our budget planning process at this point in time, we're going to have to be extremely careful, because if you mute growth, and we're projected to see growth levels that BOJ projects between 2 and 4%, IMF says 3.5%. You know what I mean? We believe that they have taken inflation into account, but there are so many factors on the horizon, including the COVID-19 variant and continued inflationary.